Evaluating expressions. So in order to evaluate an expression, it basically means to solve it. So you're going to replace the variable with the value that's intended for it, and then you're just going to solve that expression. So if we look at example 1, I have 2n, and then it says if n equals 4. So it's telling you that n is the same thing as 4. So I'm going to take this 4 and plug it in for that n. Remember, if you have a number and a variable touching with no operation, it's understood to be multiplication. So you're going to write it as 2 times 4, not 24. That's the biggest mistake. So now I have 2 times 4. I always put it inside of parentheses, so I know that I've replaced it, is going to equal 8. If I look at example 2, I have a plus 2 if a is equal to 8. So again, they're telling you that this 8 is going to go in for my letter A. So I now have 8, and then everything else carries down. Plus 2, so 8 plus 2 is going to give me 10. For example 3, it says 2 times n plus 3 if n is equal to a negative 8. So again, this negative 8 is going to go in for that n. So the 2 stays the same. And now inside I have a negative 8 plus 3. My orders of operation tell me, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Multiplying, dividing, adding, and subtracting go together. So parentheses first. Negative 8 plus 3. My 2 on the outside stays the same. If I have negative 8 and I add 3, I get a negative 5. So now when I multiply them together, 2 times negative 5 is going to give me a negative 10. If I look down at example 4, I have 8w plus, minus 2v if w is 5 and v is 3. So again, you're still plugging everything in. It says w is 5. So that's going to go in for my W, and it says that V is 3, so that 3 is going to go in for my V. Remember, if you have numbers and variables touching, it means to multiply. So I'm going to rewrite this as 8 times 5 minus 2 times 3. So when I go to solve, 8 times 5 is going to give me 40, my subtraction sign. 2 times 3 is going to give me 6. So when I subtract, 40 minus 6 is going to give me 34. If I look at example 5, and then we have a word problem. So again, we're just plugging it in. It says 4y cubed plus 2 if y is equal to 3. So this 3 is going to go in for that letter y. So everything gets rewritten. 4 instead of the y I have a 3. I still have my cubed. I still have my plus 2. So now remember parentheses. We can't do anything with the parentheses. Now I do my exponents. My exponent only applies to the y. So this is like saying 3 times 3 times 3. We know that 3 times 3 is going to give me 9. I still have a third 3, so the 9 times 3 is going to give me 27. So now I have 4 times 27 plus 2. If you need to do some quick math, 27 times 4, 4 times 7 is 28, 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So I have 108 plus 2, so 110 is going to be my final answer for this problem. Now let's look at a word problem. I have 2 ways that I'm going to solve this, so I'm just going to kind of draw a squiggle down center. It says you and 4 friends go to a movie. So that means you have 5 total people. You is 1 and 4. If the tickets cost $5 each and you all together bought 3 popcorns at $1.50 each and 5 sodas at $1 each, write and solve an equation to find the total spent by you and your friends. So I have 5 people who bought some amount of tickets, or I bought 5 tickets, plus we bought 3 popcorns, plus we bought 5 sodas. So now I can replace these letters or these variables with their known values. So 5 times, for each ticket it cost $5, plus 3 times my popcorn cost $1.50 each, plus 5 times soda was $1 a piece. So now it's just solving. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 3 times $1.50 is going to give me $4.50, plus 5 times $1 is going to give me 5. Now you can work this left to right, or I can rearrange to make math easier by doing my associative property and my commutative property. So if I move the 5 over by the 25, I now have 25 plus 5 plus 450. And if I'm going to do this piece first, 25 plus 5 gives me 30, plus 450 is going to give me $34.50 is what we spent total. If we start with the same thing, I know that I bought 5 tickets plus 5 sodas. So I have 5 times the same number of each of these, plus that 3 times the number of popcorns, or the cost of popcorn. So if I plug it in, I have 5 plus my tickets were $5, plus my soda was $1, 3 times $1.50 for my popcorn. So now orders of operation, 5 plus 1 is going to give me 6, plus 450. When I multiply that piece out, 5 times 6 is 30, plus 450. So again, I get $34.50. So there's no one right way to solve this, but know that it says to write and solve an equation. So this is your equation or your expression. This is your solution. Or this is your expression and this is your solution. You get the same answer either way.